Pirkay Avot, Ethics of Our Fathers, Chapter 3, Mishnah 1. The famous words of Akavya, son of Mahalalel, who tells us one should consider three things and one will never sin. Know from where you come, a putrid seed. Know to where you are going, dust, the earth. And know before whom you are to give a reckoning, before God himself. The Baal Shem Tov points out the precise language of the Mishnah to describe a reckoning. And the wording is din v'cheshbon. Translated literally, din means a judgment, and cheshbon means an accounting. Now the Baal Shem Tov points out that the order seems to be the reverse. First, there's a cheshbon, first there's an accounting, and then in accordance with the cheshbon, in accordance with the accounting, there is a din, there is a judgment. Why does the Mishnah reverse the order? Din, first judgment, and then cheshbon, then an accounting. Explains the Baal Shem Tov that when the soul goes up to heaven, they present before the soul a hypothetical. What do you think the heavenly court tells the soul of someone who behaved in such a manner and under such and such conditions? The soul then examines that scenario and gives a verdict. And then they come to the soul and say, well, that hypothetical, that was you. And they demonstrate to the soul that the hypothetical on which he cast judgment was actually his own life. And therefore, says the Baal Shem Tov, the Mishnah says, first there's a judgment. First the soul casts a judgment. And then there's a cheshbon, then there's an accounting to demonstrate to the soul that the judgment he ruled belongs to him. Beautiful insight. In a gathering known as a Farbrengen, the Rebbe addressed this teaching from the Baal Shem Tov and asked, why is it important to know this? Why would the Mishnah change the order, din v'cheshbon, in order to inform us that the soul does a reckoning and casts a judgment on a hypothetical, and then they do an accounting to tell him that the judgment that he rendered is about him? Why is it important to know this? And tells the Rebbe that there's a beautiful lesson the Mishnah is teaching us. The Mishnah is teaching us that the most powerful thing in this world is the soul. A soul is a part of God. And no one can control the soul, not even the heavenly court. And the only way for the heavenly court to cast the judgment on the soul, if the soul first casts the judgment on himself. And all of this further expresses to us and highlights for us the power of the soul. Nothing can control it. Even the heavenly court cannot cast the judgment on you before you cast it upon yourself. And therefore the Mishnah is teaching us two things. First of all, the Mishnah is teaching you nothing can stop you. You have a part of God in you, and it's the most powerful thing in the world. No force can stop it, not even the heavenly court. But you should know the heavenly court's very clever, and they will get you to cast a judgment on yourself. Now, what this means for us in our life today is, in addition to considering the fact that all we do is written in a book and is going to be judged, we also must consider, while we live, the power we have. We carry a godly soul, and no force can stop the godliness invested in us.